G'day everyone, welcome back to another video. This time we're down in the Victorian High Country just for a couple of days. We've never been down here before, so it's just a bit of a suck it and see sort of thing. Hopefully we're going to head up to Craig's hut tomorrow and look around there, a few other huts, and then we'll see what happens after that. But we've just arrived at our accommodation. It's Burnt Creek Cottages at Mansfield, about 15 minutes out of town. So I'll show you. It's a 2-bedroom cottage. We're here with friends from Goulburn. I'll give you a view out the front. It's frigging awesome. So this is the front deck of our cabin here at Burnt Creek Cottages. I'll just turn you around and have a look at this. My God. So that's Lake Eildon in the distance there. Morning everyone. It's a beautiful brisk morning here at Mansfield. We're going to head up to Craig's hut this morning at some stage, so we'll take you along for the ride. It's supposed to be pretty cold up there. It was 1 to 9 up at Craig's hut. So it's currently 8 degrees here, so it's not too bad. So we'll see you on the road. We've made it up to Telephone Box Junction, which is where the Mount Sterling Road effectively ends. There's a cafe, some toilets and a bit of a ranger station here. So Circuit Road starts and finishes here as well. And we're going to take Circuit Road and head on up to Craig's hut. So we'll see you up there. Just about to turn off onto the four-wheel drive track, which will take us right up to the car park at Craig's hut. You can park your car here if you are in a two-wheel drive and walk up. It's about 4 k's I think each way. So we're going to take the easy way out and head on up in our 4Bs. To me, this place has a feeling of nostalgia. You know, the story of the high country, the cattlemen, the horsemen, the pioneers, a lifestyle that just doesn't exist anymore. It's nice and I really like it. It's a beautiful place. I've got to tell you, when we got out of the car and saw this, it took my breath away. The hut is just a replica, but it's the location. Look, seriously, I would have spent less than a minute inside the hut, and all the rest of my time was outside looking at the mountains. Just look at the layering of these mountains as they just stretch off into the distance. It's just breathtaking. I wasn't heading down to the high country without doing at least a little bit of four-wheel driving, and I've convinced Barry and Nell to head down the Monument track, and from there we'll head over to Binderee Falls and Binderee Hut for lunch. We're just heading off to Binderee Falls. As you can see, it's only a short walk in and out, one steep section which should be fine for most people. You might struggle if you've got dodgy knees, but we made it up, no worries. This place is bloody amazing. Look at that waterfall. And down in the valley, the tree ferns and ferns are so green and lush. Wow, this is a special place. Well, we didn't quite get to Binderee Hut, and that was my fault. I thought it was one way and it was the other way, so we missed the bloody place. That's what you get when you try to use a 60-year-old brain. It doesn't work as good as it used to, that's for sure. We've woken up to an absolutely beautiful day. Just standing here on the deck looking out over this view. Wow, it is simply stunning. Today we want to head out to Sheepyard Flat and have a look at that general area. It's down on the Hakka River. We'd like to get our caravan in there. So while we're here, we thought we'd have a bit of a look at the road just to get a bit of an idea to see, you know, if the van would be okay. I'm pretty sure it would be. It's a semi-off road, but I just want to double check. Fry's Hut is also down there, so we will have a look at that while we're there. After that, we'd like to head into Jamison, given that we have enough time for that. Jamison's got a brewery. Be good to have lunch there if we can get there in time. And also the town is supposed to be a very nice looking little town. The road into Sheepyard Flat was pretty easy, but I guess that's going to depend on what time of year you visit, whether the grader's been over it or not. Can get a bit corrugated from the looks, but it was a nice easy trip for us, and we'll get our van in here, no troubles. We missed out on visiting Fry's Hut, unfortunately, because the road was closed. The alternative is a 5k return walk, which we didn't have time for, as we were pretty keen to get to Jamison Pub for a beer and some lunch. We're just sitting in the beer garden of the Jamison Brewery. The view's amazing, the food was good, the beer's beautiful, the company's great, the sun is warm. It's just one of those days, you know, where you just want to settle in and have a few beers and not go anywhere. One thing that struck us were the colour of the trees. It was autumn, so all the maples and all those sort of deciduous trees, the colours were amazing, and it just lit the towns up. Some of them actually looked like they were on fire. Beautiful. We're on a bit of a Ned Kelly trail today. This morning we called in at the Mansfield Cemetery to check out the graves of Kennedy, Scanlon and Lonigan, the three police who were murdered by the Ned Kelly gang out at Stringy Bark Creek. Stringy Bark Creek was the beginning of the end for Ned Kelly and his gang. It was at this location that he snuck up and ambushed a party of police that were camped here. He murdered 3 of them, and one of them managed to escape to alert the authorities. It's only a short drive from Stringybark Creek up here to Powers Lookout. And Powers Lookout, it's named after Harry Powers, the so-called gentleman bushranger of this area. And he got that name because when he held women up and shoved guns under their noses and stole their money and stole their horse, he was nice about it. And I guess as Aussies, we tend to do that a lot, don't we? We romanticise arseholes. Now, Harry was a master bushman, and he was also a mentor for a young Ned Kelly, and he's credited with teaching Ned a lot of his bush skills and probably bush ranging skills. Apparently Harry lived in a cave up here near the lookout. He had some good mates down in the valley. They were actually Ned Kelly's uncles, and they had some dogs, and anytime anyone approached their house, the dogs would bark, and it would alert Harry that people were coming, and he could check it out if they were the cops. Harry would just melt away into the bush and they couldn't find him. Unfortunately for poor old Harry, there is no honour among thieves according to the Kelly uncles, and they were given enough money and they ended up giving him up to the authorities.
Staircase all the way up. Now we're going all the way down. And we're going to go through this skinny walkway between this rock. Easy walk unless you've got bad knees. Down lots of stairs. And then you're going to come back up. So this is a staircase, so it looks good. We're going up to there. Lots of conglomerate rock, as you can see. And he's going coming down.
I reckon that must be one of the best lookouts we've seen for a long, long time. Anyway, from here we're going to head down off the mountain into Whitfield and then on to Beechworth for a few days. Well, we've just driven into Beechworth and this is where we're staying. It's called Goldfields Cottage. So it's a 167-year-old cottage and it's been restored. So it's quite nice inside, a bit rustic, but it's got everything we need. So we're going to spend a couple of nights here. Tomorrow we're going to explore Beechworth, have a look around it, or everything it's got to offer. So looking forward to that. We've only really got one full day here to explore Beechworth. So this morning we're just going to have a wander up and down the main street. Then the Savo, head over to the historical precinct, have a look at some of the ruins from the early days, and also hopefully get into Bilson's Brewery for a quick look. we had a bit of a wander through the Burke Memorial Museum, which we really enjoyed. There are relics from the Burke and Wills expedition, a whole bunch of stuffed birds and animals, rock samples, and just general relics from the past era. The thing that really caught our eye though was a reconstruction of shop facades as they would have been back in the old times. We've just come over to the historical precinct, and it's a bunch of government buildings including police stables, the courthouse, police cells, that sort of stuff. The highlight really is the courthouse, but it's only available at the moment with a guided tour, and those tours didn't fit in with our time slot, so we had to miss out, unfortunately. These are the cells at the back of the courthouse. Pretty interesting and just a little bit weird to be standing where Ned Kelly actually stood. Anyway, his mum and him must have really loved these cells because they spent plenty of time in them. Just on the edge of town is the Beechworth powder magazine. This is where the gold miners used to store their black powder they used for blasting in their mining operations. Here in Bilson's. This is a competent drinker's paradise. We love a good waterfall, and this one doesn't disappoint either. Woolshed Falls, and it's just out of town. That little plunge pool down the bottom, 57 kilos of gold was pulled from that during the gold rush back in the 1800s. Bloody hell, that's a lot of gold. Well, this is our last stop for the day, and it's the Beechworth Hospital facade. It's all that's left of the Beechworth Hospital, which was made way back in 1862-64 and demolished in 1940. They needed the building materials during the war around town. G'day everyone, and there you go, that's it. We're on our way home now. Apparently it's pouring rain up in Gosford, so we're not looking forward to that. But we've got a bit of a drive, about 7 hours from Beechworth back to Gosford, so we're on our way. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully you'll see us on our next video. Thanks.